In this video series, I work through a math problem or problems each video. Polynomials are sums and differences of monomials. When we add two monomials together, we call the sum a binomial. When we add three monomials together, we call the sum a trinomial. These sums and differences can be simplified by combining like terms. Like terms are monomials with the same variables and equal corresponding exponents. Let's take a look at the examples. Add or subtract and simplify the expressions. The first expression is 5x plus 3y plus 8x plus 11x squared plus 13xy. Let's go ahead and divide this expression up into terms or monomials. We have 5x plus 3y plus 8x plus 11x squared and plus 13xy. Note that we need to keep the sign in front of each of the monomials with the rest of the monomials, since we need to consider the sign here as part of the coefficient or the number. So if we take a look at the first monomial or first term, we have 5x. The variable part of this monomial is x, and if we don't have an exponent, we can think of this as having the exponent of 1. So let me go ahead and write that. So if we look at all the terms, this term has x to the first power. This also has x to the first power. And since that's the only variable in both of these terms, we can combine them together. Now this term here also has x, but the exponent is different. So we can't combine this term with these two terms here. This term also has x to the first power, which does match the x to the first power here, but this last term here also has y to the first power. And since y to the first power doesn't appear in either of these terms, we can't combine this with either of these terms. So we just need to combine this term along with this term. So 5x plus 8x is, we add the coefficients together. 5 plus 8 is 13, so we get 13x. So let me check that off. We use this term and we use this term. Next, let's take a look at this term, 3y to the first power. The only other term with y is this, and the exponents do match up, but this term has x, while this term doesn't. So this term doesn't combine with anything else, and we can write this as 3y. Okay, so we're finished with this term. Next, we have 11x squared. Both of these terms have x, but the exponent for x is different. This is x squared, and this is x to the first power. So these terms don't combine with each other. So since they are the only remaining terms, we'll just go ahead and copy them. Next, we need to add these two polynomials together, 3x plus 2y plus 7xy minus 6c minus 2y plus 3xy. To make it easier to work with the minus sign here, let's go ahead and distribute it to all the terms inside this set of parentheses. We get, I'll just go ahead and remove the set of parentheses here, 3x plus 2y plus 7xy, and we just change the sign of all three terms here. We get minus 6c plus 2y and minus 3xy. So once again, let's go ahead and divide this up into terms. We have 3x plus 2y plus 7xy minus 6c, we need to remember the minus sign, 2y, and minus 3xy. Okay, let's start with the first term, 3x. Looking through all the other terms, this term has x, but this also has y, so it won't match up. This term also has x, but once again it has y, so 3x doesn't combine with any other terms, and we just write 3x first. Next we have 2y, and this term has y, but also has x, so we can't combine these two. This term also has y, so we can combine this and this term together. This term has y, but doesn't have, this has x, but the other two terms don't have y. So the only two terms that we can combine together are this 2y here and this 2y here. So we combine them together and we get 4y. Next we have 7xy. This doesn't have xy, this term does. So the variables match up x and y, and both of the variables have an exponent of 1. So they match up. So we can combine them together. 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. So we get 4xy. And since we only have one term remaining, we can just go ahead and copy that. So after subtracting and simplifying this expression, we end up with the expression 3x plus 4y plus 4xy minus 6z.